Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope everyone had a safe and enjoyable Halloween. I watched the Dodgers this weekend. I'm a Dodgers fan, and they won the World Series. And I'm actually watching the parade now on the TV because it's too far from where I live, and I'm not going to get down into all the traffic. But it's their second year winning the World Series, so I believe they're the first back-to-back team in a while since the 90s. I think it was Derek Jeter and the Yankees, right? I think that's what they said. I listened to the pre-show and the post-show with Derek Jeter, like Poppy and all them, A-Rod, and they were discussing it, and I thought that was really interesting. But one thing I can't help but feel a little bad. I don't know. I feel a little sad for the Blue Jays. They are the Toronto team. So, for context, the Blue Jays made it to the World Series for the first time in like 30 years. So, in a way, it was a bit more historic for them, I think. But as a Dodgers fan, I'm really happy for the Dodgers. I'm definitely going to a game next year. They killed it. The pitching is fascinating. It's the fastballs, like all of that. And then when they hit the home runs, I'm like, what's going on? But today I just want to talk about it because I've been dying to talk about Prince Andrew. And you all have probably heard he has been stripped from every single title imaginable. Yes, and so that's from his Prince, his Royal Highness title to like all of his military titles. And that's what you get for being a disgraced royal. Okay, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's back up. What happened? Well, on Thursday, October 30th, the day before spooky Halloween, King Charles and Buckingham Palace, they released a statement. And the statement goes as follows. His Majesty has today initiated a formal process to remove the style, titles, and honors of Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew will now be known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. His lease on Royal Lodge has, to date, provided him with legal protection to continue in residence. Formal notice has now been served to surrender the lease, and he will move to Formal notice has now been served to surrender the lease, and he will move to alternative private accommodation. These censors are deemed necessary. Notwithstanding the fact that he continues to deny the allegations against him, their majesties wish to make it clear that their thoughts and utmost sympathies have been and will remain with the victims and survivors of any and all forms of abuse. I have a lot of thoughts about this statement that Buckingham Palace released, but one thing that I can't stop thinking about is how nice Prince Andrew has been living. Look at the Royal Lodge on your screen right now. That's where this man has been living. And the reason why I have an issue with it is because we knew he was associated with Jeffrey Epstein back in 2010 when those pictures of him in Central Park came about, right? Do you remember? He was this one right here. And then he came out with the 2019 BBC interview because I believe he truly wanted to get ahead of what Virginia Giuffre was about to unleash, which was that picture of him and her when she was underage, this one right here. He should have been stripped when this photo came out. The photo of them, the two of them, because she was a minor in this and this looks very inappropriate anyways. What are you doing with a minor in a house? What are you doing with your arm wrapped around a 17-year-old at the time, potentially 16? I'm reading her book and I'm going to be doing a whole review on it. It is very telling of just her in general. And honestly, it's made me realize how billionaires and these quote unquote rich and powerful are just rich. They are powerful only with their money. But today we're all waking up. And we're not tolerating it. So yeah, he's been evicted. He's been evicted from this mansion and probably moved to another mansion, let's be honest. So I'm going to pay attention to what the private residence is or private accommodations, because he better be living in a small ass apartment in like the middle of nowhere, to where he has to like hunt for his food. You know what I mean? Like a hunter and gatherer. I bet you he's never done anything in his life. I bet you doesn't even know how to clean a plate or put on a dishwasher. This is how privileged these people are. So yeah, he's going to get everything that's coming to him. And it's about time. It's way long overdue. And Virginia Giuffre, this is so crazy that it's just so sad that she's not here to see her impact. Because this book, if it wasn't for this book, I don't think he would have lost his title this week. And I'm going to leave it at that because I'm going to dedicate a whole episode to her book and Prince Andrew and all of that, just her in general. But it just makes me think, would this have happened then? I don't know. So let me quickly back up even further. Do you remember Kash Patel? I'm going to be talking about him later, so just pretend like you do. He's my favorite DEI hire. He is also my favorite FBI agent ever because he just has never been in the FBI. He's an actual podcaster and he's a real idiot that looks like a deer in the headlights every time I see him like this. Well, he also, him and his little army of goons in the Trump administration and Mike Johnson and everybody, they are saying that this is a Democratic hoax, right? They say that the Epstein files is a Democratic hoax. Do you remember? Well, if it's such a Democratic hoax, how come a royal family is stripping someone off their titles and literally say, the king himself in that statement says that he still continues to deny his involvement? So they know something popped off. They know. I think they've been knowing. But it's like now because Virginia Giuffre's book, and we're all not giving up. The public's not giving up on it. We shouldn't. Keep having conversations with your friends about this. Keep having conversations with your work people. I don't care. Something to talk about. Something to gossip over. Something to bond over. This should be. We'll continue to talk about Epstein. We will continue to talk about people of power abusing it, especially on minors. I don't understand why this is even up for conversation. So the Democrats here in the U.S. have called on Prince Andrew to come testify in front of a committee, which made me think, do we think now that he's been stripped of all his titles, he's technically, quote unquote, a civilian without the protection? Can he go to jail? Can we put him on trial now? Can the royal courts of England prosecute Prince Andrew? Can the Democrats summon him here in the United States to make him testify under oath as a civilian? And out everybody? Why not? He might as well. Do you remember? I'm not trying to be big-headed, but one of my earlier episodes, and I do apologize about the noise in the background. They just decided to do construction in my apartment, but I'm like in the mood for this episode right now, so I'm going to keep going. But do you remember, not to toot my own freaking horn, but way episodes ago, I said it's going to take somebody huge to be put in a situation to where they just like spill all the beans to just do it. You've lost everything and now just spill all the beans. And it has to take someone so high up. And I was thinking Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, somebody like that. For some reason, I did not think Prince Andrew because I never thought they would ever depart from each other. And they being the royal family ever. They kind of stick through things through thick and thin. But when Prince William did that interview with Eugene Levy about change in the monarch when he becomes king, the only thing I could think of was, sure, there's like obviously the privilege that they get, but Epstein was one and Prince Andrew was another. And then the emails and all that stuff come out. It's just, you can't make it up. And apparently, according to royal sources, every member of the royal family that's high ranking, so Prince William, etc., they all absolutely agreed with this. So as they should. I mean, what else are you going to say? But you have to understand, for a monarch to be like this, so prideful, so just really set in their roots of such privilege that you forget what a real life person is. So for them to kind of turn on themselves, I don't think that's ever really happened in British modern day history, has it? Like, I'm talking about immediate family. I'm not talking about like Fergie, Diana. Well, I guess Diana would be one. Well, since Diana, right? Diana was kind of out. She was ousted, but we look at the royal family so different now with what we know. Again, so random, but I wonder if Diana liked Prince Andrew. Part of me would say no. Like, she despised the whole royal family, but I wonder if she knew about him because he was doing these alleged things back when she was young. I just think there's a lot of skeletons there. The question is, now that Prince Andrew has gone down, how much are they gonna say? Andrew kind of took down the monarch, if you really think about it. Anyway, it's just my thoughts of the day in regards to Prince Andrew and Epstein. It's still going. I'm still paying attention. I can't wait to tell you about Virginia Giuffre's book. Oh my gosh, you guys. Trump, of course, of everything going on, government shut down, all that shit, he still was able to put his 2 cents in about the royal family. Now, for someone who also said it was a Democratic hoax, for him to acknowledge this situation was a little weird. Well, speaking to reporters on board of Air Force One, a journalist asked him about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. What do we call him? Ex-prince? Whatever. Andrew. They asked him about Andrew in the situation. Trump goes, I feel very badly. It's a terrible thing that's happened to the family. That's been a tragic situation. It's too bad. I feel badly for the family. Yeah, because Trump is obsessed with the royal family because, he wishes he was back in those times with the Great Gatsby Halloween party he hosted during the snap and government shutdown, like so tone deaf. He really, with the gold royal ballroom, very old school, very like royal, very like old money, very old England. That's where he wants to be so bad. And with the dementia kicking in, who knows, he might actually think he is there. Like, do you know what I mean? He took a cognitive test and bragged about it and then let us know that he also had to take an MRI. His dementia is letting us know. By the way, a cognitive test. Let's talk about that real quick because all he had to do was point out which one's a giraffe and which one is a pig, which color is purple, and what time is on the clock. That's what you do on your dementia test. And I'm not shading anybody because I think when you do reach a certain age, like Trump, or if not older, but him, he's aging really quickly, you should be taking these tests. It makes sense because you're at that stage of your life. Just like, I'm at that stage of my life where I got to think about shit too. So you know what I mean? There's different stages of your life. You got to go through the journey. Trump let us know he had to take an MRI, and at his age, that's scary, right? Uh-oh. Why does my president have to take an MRI? Because he's missing a few brain cells? No, it's probably even worse. But for him to brag and say he got perfect scores on a cognitive test, which it just means he picked the right animal. He picked the right color. That's all it means. So I don't get it. I don't get this administration. I just don't understand. The last thing I want to end on today, just because I didn't expect to go on a big rant about Epstein, is that Kash Patel is back in the news. Well, actually, let me clarify. It's a good thing he's in the news because at least we know what he's doing, especially because we're paying for his salary. But our disgraced FBI director, I really like the word disgraced prince, disgraced FBI director, whoever. But as the FBI director, you need to be doing work. But I don't think he is. Anywho. But Kash Patel, I just want everybody to know he used our government funding money again. You want to know how? You want to know how? You want to know where? This shocked the crap out of me. I'm not going to lie to you. This shook me to my core. I'm not even going to lie to you. He used a government-funded jet, 60 million, by the way. 60 million, to go see his country-singing girlfriend at a wrestling event that was 40-minute flight down the road in Nashville. Yeah, that's my favorite DI hire. Taking unnecessary private jets that's government funded over a 40-minute flight to watch his 26-year-old girlfriend, he's 45, sing some country music at some freedom party wrestling match. So I just want you all to know our tax dollar is hard at work. Do you see what I mean? Very hard. And Kash Patel, I've never seen anybody work harder. I'm still actually waiting to hear about the HBCU stuff that was going on. Remember there was a bunch of white nationalists that decided they wanted to threaten HBCUs after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, when we actually find out it was allegedly, by the way, still waiting, that white man. Can't make it up. School shootings, white men, all that. It's not really making sense. I'm telling you, I'm feeling gaslit. This administration, I've never felt so gaslit in my life. The trial of our lifetime, and Jazz and I are going to be sitting listening to this. I'm telling you, we might even live stream. It's going to be that good because they're going to look like such fools. And Trump's disapproval rating is just at an all-time high. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up here so I don't ramble on. But I can't.